Christian News from English Christian Times. Pope Francis prays for teachers, students adapting to online learning. Pope Francis prayed for teachers and students who are trying to adapt and to do their work online during the COVID-19 pandemic. Let us pray today for teachers who have to work so hard in order to do lessons on the internet and other media. The Pope Francis said on April 24th at the beginning of his early Mass in morning, let us also pray for students who have to take their exams in a way they are not used to, he said. Politicians, priests, people offer to repair, restore the Basilica Bom Jesus. There has been an outpouring of concern and support to the Basilica of Bom Jesus from several politicians, priests and people in response to concern raised by the Basilica Rector Father Patricio Fernandez on April 22nd while pleading for urgent attention to the world-famous monument which had been neglected by the Archaeological Survey of India. Among the politicians who either visited the Basilica or telephoned Father Fernandez to take stock of the situation and to offer assistance included Union Ayush Minister Shripad Naik, Ports Minister Michael Lobo, WRD Minister Philip Neri Rodriguez, St. Andre MLA Francis Silveira, Benolim MLA Churchill Alamo, South Goa MP Francisco Sardina, and former Minister Victor Gonçalves. Pope Francis expresses solidarity with journalists, newspapers. In a letter addressed to journalists, volunteers and sellers of street newspapers who are experiencing great difficulties in this moment of health emergency, the COVID-19 pandemic, the Holy Father expressed his solidarity with them. Pope Francis said the lives of millions of people in the world already grappling with so many challenges difficult to face and oppressed by the pandemic has changed and is being put to the test. The most fragile people, the invisible, homeless people risk paying the heaviest bill. So I want to say hello to the world of street newspapers and especially to their vendors who are mostly homeless, seriously marginalized, unemployed people. Thousands of people all over the world live and have a job thanks to the sale of these extraordinary newspapers, he said. Continuing our series on biblical herbs and spices, some of which that were used in the biblical days are worth mentioning. Two favorite herbs, frankincense also called olibanum, has been used for religious rites for centuries. The oil of frankincense is calming and soothing and deepens breathing. It is grown in Africa, Yemen, and the Red Sea countries. It is known as incense. UNESCO UAE begin reconstruction of historic Iraqi church destroyed by Islamic State. Work has begun to rebuild a Christian church in Iraq, destroyed by the Islamic State as part of a partnership between the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization and the Muslim-majority United Arab Emirates. UNESCO announced last week that construction has commenced on the conventual Church of Our Lady of the Hour in Mosul. Mosul was once Iraq's second largest city before it was overrun by the Islamic State terrorist group in 2014 but liberated by US-backed coalition forced in 2019. Priscilla Scherer warns Christians that Satan is using COVID-19 as tactic to discourage God's people. Popular speaker and author Priscilla Scherer encouraged Christians to use the coronavirus pandemic as a time to stand firm against the schemes of the enemy, warning that Satan will use every opportunity to discourage God's people. Donald Trump talks education on call with Catholic leaders. US President Donald Trump held a call with more than 600 Catholic leaders on Saturday that focused on education and relief funding during the corona pandemic. Catholic educational leaders on the call touted the work of Catholic educators during the pandemic and explained the financial difficulties facing Catholic schools. The measure of love is to love without measure. Augustine of Hippo. News Desk, Christian Times.